Got it. So is there any more symbology that you wanted to hit on associated with the fake Brahmins uh, to move us forward?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
So we now have found this connection again with Murugan and the six-pointed star, sometimes called the Star of David or sometimes called the Seal of Solomon falsely. Now we must look at another symbol, because I think one of the main questions that we wanted to answer within the pretext of what we're talking about today is how the ancient culture changed and who changed it. So that's kind of like a really direct question that you just can't point one finger and say they changed it. You can only look at the most powerful symbols in cultures and see who owns those symbols today mentally. So when it comes to your mind, if you had to answer right away to the best of your knowledge, who does that symbol belong to? You're going to say, oh, that's the symbol on the star of the flag of Israel. That represents Judaism. If I say, who does this system belong to? You're going to say, well, Hitler used that during the Nazis because he said that they were Aryans. Okay?
And it's very interesting referring to these symbols, these external representations that have meaning in terms of ownership and who owns them.
I guess when you change concepts and ideals into, let's say, seals themselves. Okay, so because what did this seal mean? Like, this seal also means the great arms of entire constellations that are out in the cosmos is what this means. And when that's moving in one direction, called Widdershins, certain things happen. And when it's moving in the other direction, Diesel, other things happen, right? So as a concept, this becomes a very easy symbol, like you're teaching children. And we talked about this yesterday. When you have symbols, it's like when you're trying to create a structure of learning for children, which is anyone who's just being initiated into these arts. So there's this whole process that they need to go to try to understand it. So we must, just like language, which is external, we must bring out this external symbolism to create ideals or maxims that really control how the people function in everyday life, like the four seasons, the four winds, the four corners of the earth, etc. So that's what these symbols mean. And now when someone wants to represent that, saying, I believe that, I believe the arms of the great galaxy, I believe in the cosmos and all these different things. So they will use that symbol, okay? And that becomes the symbol of your tribe. So I can't see anything negative or imbalanced with dealing with symbolism, because it's like our own technology of preserving core ideals that expand out into volumes of knowledge. But I can see, if someone actually takes control of that symbol and says it belongs to them, how entire cultures get left out and entire ideals become forgotten.
Got it. So these symbols are opportunities for us to definitely internalize their meaning.
Exactly. Well, any person, just like what this page shows you, the crow, you know, the fly fly, like all of those names, the manji, you can yourself go to these ancient cultures, see what it meant to them, and gain massive knowledge that has nothing to do with racism and a group of people that are trying to exterminate humanity. Okay? And then I guess this is the biggest example. This symbol is sacred, and it has multiple layers of knowledge embedded within it for those who can go deep enough within themselves. But if you want to take the different meaning of it, then you can go with that. Like I said, like this symbol in itself, the swastika that we're looking at, it stems into the arms of the galaxy. But just like the arms of the galaxy are very broad, there are things that it's circumferencing that all have meaning. Likewise, if this is spinning in one direction, it actually means the direction of life. If it's spinning in another direction, it actually means the direction of death. So, of course, if you knew the symbolism, you would notice that Hitler pointed his swastika in the direction of death. And that, of course, makes sense since they worship the cult of death. But a general onlooker is going to not notice those subtle differences. And then in addition, when we say death, we're only talking about transmutation. We're not talking about the ignorant misinterpretation of death as if there's an end to something that has no beginning.